is the only time I fired a weapon. All the years dealing with all the crazies I dealt with, God was good, and having guns pulled on me and stuff, but not knowing who I was because I'm playing clothes and didn't shoot. I had 2 real incidents that were interesting. I was a training officer for a period, for about a couple of years, for in and out of gangs. I was a training officer, and I had a trainee on the first day of his with me, and that guy was a smoker. We fresh out of briefing, and we get this gunshot victim call on a street called Golden Street over in Long Beach, which was near where I live, over there in mob area. So we rolled to that call, gunshot victim, but it didn't seem real serious. It's like the gunshot just survived a wound or something, but nothing, serious. So we got there. I was taught by one of my training officers never to park at a scene, right? Your car anywhere in front of the scene. Park down the street or around or something and walk up to that chaotic scene. I'd be darned if that didn't work out for us. Me and my trainee got out of the car, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, daylight, crowd out in front of the apartment building. A lot of people out because there's a gunshot victim. Shot in the arm and stuff, sitting on the curb, family, people around him, crowd out there. And so we come around the corner, me and Donnie, and he this is his first thing. He rolled into a gunshot victim, his first call as a trainee. And I walked up to the crowd near the victim and saw somebody there. I said, who saw that? Ain't too many people gonna say they saw it, the shooting, they just nosy. And so one girl told me, say, yeah, we were out front here, and all of a sudden this car come by, because he out front selling dope. He said, all of a sudden this car come by and just started shooting at us and shot him and went that way. Pointed away. It was going around the corner where I parked, right? So I'm thinking the shooters went that way. We got helicopters at this time. But as she said that, I said, well, what's the description of the car? She pointed down the street toward Long Beach Boulevard, and here a car coming. She said, just like that one. That looked like the car, because it's a distance away, because we're on the other end of the street, and the car is slowly coming toward us, right? And then as they got a little closer, and I'm looking at the car, I could see the passenger, a gun out of the window, like he's ready to shoot, right? And we got the crowd in front, paramedics still there, treating the guy. So I hollered, down, everybody get down, gun. And as the car was passing us, I laid out prone, because everybody hit the ground. I don't know what my trainee was doing, but I know afterwards he smoked about a pack of cigarettes. But anyway, the car just slowly rolled by. And my nose shooting butt, as the car rolled by, I'm trying to shoot. I fired about 4 rounds at the car, at the shooter in the car. I don't think I hit nothing, okay? But because they kept going, they made the turn on Short Street right where my car was parked around that corner. I ran, I said, get up, made them run with me because the car was going around the corner and I shot it. I jumped in our police car, not knowing where they are. I can't see them as I get in the car, but the helicopter spotted it because I put it out on the radio, and they followed the car. They say, call my unit number and say, we got your car. Your car is now turning onto Long Beach Boulevard from that street and turning right, going toward the shopping centers, Sears and all that over there. And right between the little parking lot, you can drive right straight through the parking lot and go to the back street, which is Bullis Road. And a street that it runs into is Pine. Guess who lives on Pine, right off of Bullis Road, right off of Pine? Wow, me. That's where I live, right in there. Because remember I told you, Reggie was raised in mob area and lived there on Pine. The car is heading through the parking, between heading down Pine. Now I'm calling for backup, in the helicopter, for people to follow me. So now we got almost like a Sugarland Express behind me, with all cars, because all the cops are lined up behind me as I'm following this car going across Bullis Road. As it's going across, now I turn on, because I got backup. As we go, I turn on my bells and whistles, because I'm in the unmarked car and stuff. So I turn it on right behind it. But as I do that and get ready to turn, I'm almost passing my house. My 14-year-old daughter is coming home from school, And she's standing on the porch, and she stopped from going in the house to look. Here comes a bunch of police cars. And she know my car because I'm undercover car. And she stays on the porch. And as the car go past the house, and I'm passing, I'm hollering at her, go in the house, go in the house. And then, I don't know what happened, but the guy driving, the driver of the car, there was two of them in the car, right as they got to my intersection and crossed the street, they pulled over right quick. They pulled over right quick, jam. And so naturally we stopped, and I'm, my house was 2 houses back. My daughter standing on the porch, she was been able to see all of this, right? So we prone up doing a felony stop. My field sergeant, Rick Baker, with his crazy butt, instead of staying behind the car, Rick runs up to the passenger side of the car, just runs up and grabs the door open and snatches the guy out, the car, the passenger, and opened the glove compartment and got gun, you know, so he noticed the gun. I wasn't gonna approach at first until Rick did that and so grabbed the guy. Now I'm the front, I got to approach the car on the driver's side. So now I go carefully approach it, and this guy is leaning his head almost like out the window like, and he's bleeding at the head. No, it was the other side, because he was laying, and I could see blood just all in his head. And I go, oh my God, I think I shot him. You know, remember the shooting in the day? And I said, shoot. I called for paramedics over there and said, a gunshot victim. So I put out to the sergeant, roll another supervisor, and said, we have a also involved shooting. I'm shaking still. My kid just there. All this is going on right where I live and stuff. We done got the cars out of the car. Paramedics is working on the guy and stuff. And I'm still nervous waiting for Baker, the other sergeant, to come over to interview me, take my gun, to do a whole shot. And all of a sudden, Larry, the paramedic, who I know real well, knew I was shaking up and stuff. He came to the back of the car where I was standing. He said, Reggie, what's wrong? I said, man, how bad is he? Because I'm thinking he shot in the head. There ain't nothing wrong with that fool. There ain't nothing but glass all in. Apparently, we hit the windshield, something in the car, some glass, and the glass got on him and was bleeding and stuff. And I don't know if that's why he stopped, but that's all he had was a flesh wound from the glass. That's the scariest moment I ever had. I involved in the shooting, you know, think I shot the guys. The guys came back to shoot people they shot, and I'm nervous as hell. And like I said, my daughter out there, and it turned out he got nothing but glass. You talking about being relieved, you know, because you don't want to shoot nobody. I don't care, you know. But I found that one a very interesting one. And they ended up confessing. They said they sold him some bad dope. It's two Hispanic guy. The guy he shot, and he knew it was there. But he knew the guy, when he shot him, they didn't figure he didn't fall or whatever. So they regrouped themselves away and decided to come back to finish the job. Didn't know the police was out there because they didn't see the police car. That's why they came down to see, but they stuck the gun out to shoot because they think it's just the crowd. And we laying there, and that is. But I said, and my guy, I think he wanted to quit that night. He smoked about a whole pack of cigarettes during the whole investigation.
He's like, what did I get myself into? Right?
Yeah.